foto de todo mundo. Take picture.
Let's go.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Let's go.
Do a screenshot. I'm going to do a screenshot.
Good idea.
I'm so nervous. Never really happened in my life because of my name Zoey, starting with Z. So usually I'm the last one. But anyway, and a little bit about myself is that I have background in both fine art and animation, and my focus is in experimental multimedia installation and mix.
One moment.
What?
Estão dizendo.
Sound? Acabei de...
Zoey, one moment. On the chat, the sound is not right. The sound is not good.
Okay, got it.
One moment. There is no sound.
You have to check the sound.
You have to check the sound. If the sound is getting in on the YouTube, and then we begin. One moment.
Okay, is the sound working now? Please, enter in the chat, please. You can.
Yeah. The sound is good now.
Is it good? Okay, so Zoey, sorry, could you begin?
No worries. Yeah, it's
Of your
technology.
career?
Yeah. So yeah, earlier I'm talking about, so like a little bit about myself is that I have background in fine art and animation. My focus is in experimental multimedia installation and mixed media animation. Most of my work are first usually inspired by organic fluid and textures like mold or mold grow on the wall, which you can see from my early my website, or like tangible everyday objects like hardware, textile, jewelry in the film. Later, I'm shows relationship. So I don't know if it's okay that I share my screen and talk a little bit more about my work, or should I do this later? Should I do this later or do it right now? To share my I
think you can do now.
Oh, do now? Okay.
Just a minute here. Yeah, try to share your.
Share. Okay, so so now I'm just like later you will see the film is this one relationship. So this project contained because this is an animation installation project, it has two parts. It's like a stop motion part and the virtual reality part. And the original idea of this piece is a walkthrough experience, as you can see from this diagram on my website. And first you follow and witness the main character, Fishbone Queen, seeing her giving away precious gifts from her own body upon entering the virtual reality environment, the dressing table VR station. You can put on VR headsets and then you will get immersed in the living bodyscape of Fishbone Queen. But like right now, what I say is totally abstract for everyone. So if after my stop motion part of my film, and you can go check this documentation of exhibition on our website. Also, there's a few more philosophy and some more details about this project, and also like some thought behind it, motivation and background, and all this can be clicked in. You can see like some of the background, because at that time collaborate with some biologists and scientists. So we got a lot of like build reference photograph for under microscopic, and then also like some inspiration illustration from Ernst Haeckel. So yeah, like feel free, just like can go over website to look at it. And then this is a production book, show some details of the work, like some style frames of the projects, of the animation, and then the photogrammetry process, which is a technique to turn, like you take a photograph of physical objects in 360s, and then you can turn physical object into virtual model, which you can use them in any kind of 3D software like Maya. So that's how the VR, my partner, my VR director, Kun, he did like, I do like photogrammetry and then give the models to him. So he a virtual reality section of the project. And then the last one is like some documented photograph of this piece showing different venues around USC, SCA Gallery, OCA, and then Lecta, stuff like that. I don't know if I talk too long, or is it okay for keep going 3 more minutes, or is it too long? Gordeeff? So lastly, I just want to like quickly mention about what I did currently. Like about 4 weeks ago, I just launched my brand and called Z Lab. So content 3 section is like a lab space of commissions. So these are some projects I've done for like past 2 years for some corporation. And because of time, I don't think I can share all of it, but it just feel free to click in and look some details, like some project I've done for TP Studio, for Mega 4, some liquid techniques, liquid experiment, and then also for OS's trilingual school, work with kids, so kids doing some script, and then they think of story, design costumes, and then later on we made it into animation. And also like our store of collectible, which just like now features handmade ceramic spoon figures in installation boxes, shadow boxes. And the vision for this ongoing project is to bring conceptual artwork to the realm of daily life, and wish to explore food science and food psychology and food as medicine across cultures. So, it just like basically you can click into any kind of artwork and look into the stories, because all these stories kind of connecting and still developing. And so stay tuned, and I will right now give the let's go to the next person. Thank you.
So now we'll show the Zoey's animation.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can show the movie now, and then we can comment about the movie, and then we move to the next one. Okay?
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
I will just ask the next one. Okay. We can go to the movie. We can go to
No problem.
the movie.
Hi, Zoey. It's amazing. I love your film. I didn't see it yet.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's very, very interesting. How was your initial idea to do that? How you did develop it to finish
So-
in this result? Visual result.
Okay. Yeah, it's you Gordeeff asked a really good question, because this is actually, I would say, it's like very much like process driven. In the beginning, it's actually just starting with a bunch of organic materials and found objects and jewelries, textiles. And I just kind of having this idea of building this crazy character fishbone queen, which like have all the scales, can move, because it's kind of like a fish-ish character. And but I just like, I want to have like this 3 acts of to see how this because of this character keep giving things away and then gradually withered. So I just kind of thinking about how to create it and then destroy it in the end, kind of like that. It's like a process. So like in the beginning, it's like really very much like hands-on, like a tangible process. But later on, I start to have a chance to work with virtual reality, and then in the class, I start to learn knowledge from about photogrammetry, this process, which you can take a photograph of any kind of physical objects, and then in 5 different angles and 360. So you will get like about like 100 or 150 photographs, and then you put in a software called Edgysoft, and I just like turn those physical things into virtual models. And one thing interesting is at that time, I just put like a VR camera in it and then look around. And then the perspective in that is totally different from what I can ever thought of. It's just like really crazy and psychedelic. So that's how everything kind of starting to go to become like installation projects, and then thinking about walkthrough and being combined with virtual reality. Yes, so it's like take like about 2 years to starting with tangible to later on more virtual, and then in the end, as a result, it's a combination of both. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was very, very interesting. Amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Tania, do you want to talk a little? Someone?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Well, I will present a little bit of my work. I will share my screen. Here, then here, and we will see ourselves. But now you can see my website. Eliane? Okay, well, I'm going to present, this is my website. This chronography or chronograph, it's a series of animated installations, and the film that I will show is like the work before. My interest is basically on time, different concepts of time, and of course, animated time. And I also do some drawings, and the film we are going to see, it's called One Day, and it's a series of drawings that are based on a choreography by a Mexican choreographer, it's Cora Flores, and these I translated into abstract movements, but also I use the time lapse of a complete day, as you will see, with these drawings, and it's related to dance. My work is related to time, concept of time, but also the human figure. I work This is the last book I did. My animations are sometimes in VR, sometimes in artist book, others in films. So I don't stay in one regular support. So the same concept, I work in different supports. And here are some of the publications that I've had. And these are works of my students. So if we can see the film, I will be very happy.
Okay, so be happy because we're going to see your film now.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll change for the film. Please close the mics. I'll change and begin it. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much. Well, that was my film. It was made in 2012, and I made it for an exhibition in a gallery in London, but now I forgot the name of everything. It's a little bit late. It's the pandemic. It's 8 years ago, so
It's normal.
sorry.
It happens.
Sorry.
It happens.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Anyone has any question to Tania? We can talk a little about it.
Sorry?
I ask if someone of us has any
Okay.
question to you, to Tania. We can ask it now. I think it would be good. On YouTube, Terezinha Lúcia Avelar said that it's very, very, very good. It's good too much.
Thank you.
Zoey says too, they're very nice to the exhibition of work Zoey's work.
Oh, thanks.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, if there is
And
no
what
question-
was the exhibition?
What was the exhibition? It was contemporary art of Mexican young artists.
Ah.
Yeah.
So it was like a work of art?
Yeah, it
not
was.
not like a film, but like a work of art.
Yeah, in the beginning it was well, not an installation. It was a screening on a gallery.
Yeah, but it was considered not like a cinema, but like an art.
Yeah, let's say, yeah. And then after the exhibition, I started presenting it on festivals.
That's nice.
Yes.
Okay. I want to sort of connect to Sasha's question about the whole, with my own work, because I'm also a visual artist, I very often have the problem in my mind of the commodification of art and of animated work like this. Would you sell this work like you would sell a painting? Because you also send it to festivals. You know, there's a problem for me in my mind. I don't know what my opinion is yet, although I think a film is a film and it needs to be seen. So I don't like, I mean, there are certain animators who just sell their films at art galleries and you can never see them. You can't see them online. You can't buy them to watch them at home. You can never see the films.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
So how do you feel about that?
Well, I think it's a very important topic, Diek. But my experience is when the film is mine, I do whatever I want. But for example, if a person buys a film, then I cannot show it anymore because I sell it to him or her.
Yeah.
But as long as it's mine, I will show it. If it's a gallery, it's okay. If it's a festival, if it's on the street, I don't care. And I like the idea of showing my work to the largest groups of people possible. Yeah.
So you didn't sell that film as an artwork?
I didn't sell it as an artwork.
So,
yeah, they invited me to present the work, but they didn't buy the work.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah. But I think it's also very unfair because I also know very good works of animation that cannot be seen anywhere.
Yeah.
Just because someone bought them.
Yeah.
Those people who bought them should upload them to Vimeo or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
What happens? I'm specifically thinking of William Kentridge's work, which you can see on YouTube, but they all pirated copies that somebody took a video at a museum where they were showing. And some of these films, even they changed the soundtrack. So the artwork is very much ruined by the piracy, although it's not, I mean, it's literally the only way you can see the work, except by very much trouble going through Kentridge's gallery. So, and I have a problem with that. You know, I think a film should be seen by anybody who wants to see it and who wants to maybe pay a little bit to see it. I don't want to own his work, but I just want to see it. And it's not possible. So,
Sometimes galleries, specifically about Kentridge, they open the films, let's say for 1 or 2 days for free, or some other galleries have a very low fee. You can pay 10 euros and then see the film, but it's not all the time. They do it by reduced dates.
I don't like that kind of exclusivity.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not very good. So, Carla, I think you're the next. Any more questions? You can can send the word to Carla. Talk to us now.
Hello.
Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello. My name is Carla MacKinnon. I'm an animator. I also come from a fine art background. It's been so lovely to see these films so far tonight. These beautiful films that are so unusual and kind of lateral in their approach to animation. And I hope that that's also the kind of place that I'm coming from. I studied fine art and then worked for around 10 years in a variety of different jobs, which was mostly management jobs and production jobs, events jobs, before I went to study animation when I was 30 at a master's level, but I'd never really animated before. So I had a pretty steep learning curve and one that I still haven't got that far on technically. But I have a real love of animation and of the magic and the potentials of it. So a lot of my work also exists outside of the conventional screen space. I really love films of all kinds, and I love making short films, but I've found that there's also been a home for my work in galleries, in installations, and also in live events. So I've done a number of collaborations with musicians, doing things like not so much visuals for music as collaborative music and film projects for live environments. So I'm really interested in how animation can feed into all these other kind of disciplines and how it bleeds across so many other things and gets into the kind of cracks in between different disciplines and different fields and links things up and glues things together as well. A few years ago, I started a PhD, which was about animated documentary. So I'm looking at production cultures in animated documentary production in the UK. That's kind of, I've had 2 kids since I started the PhD, so it's going on a bit longer than intended, but it's very nearly finished now. But that kind of made me think differently about a lot of aspects of my work. So I had made an animated documentary prior to that, which was quite experimental. And I became more and more interested in the potential that animation had for doing interesting things with documentary material, which wasn't conventional documentary, which doesn't look like a documentary and doesn't necessarily look like an animated documentary. So the film that I'm going to show now is a film that I made a couple of years ago, and it uses a kind of a documentary research and material gathering process, but then it also uses elements of fiction, narrative building, and fantasy to build a story. And it's called Oh Hunter Heart. So is that okay if we can watch it?
Okay, Carla, thank you. Now we'll change to see the film. I'll ask you to close your microphones. I'll change and play the film. Okay.
his hand in my hand, but then it felt like the rest of my body was really far away. I remember looking down at my hand, and I was just looking at this moment because it felt like a more profound moment than just simply holding hands. I think this is it. I think I'm actually in love.
This is so intense.
Sick, sickening.
I'm sickened.
It is the animal side.
Freed from the mind, just purely animalistic.
It's a force, it's a life force.
All love is a kind of ruinous enslavement.
I want this person to be me.
Our world was getting smaller and smaller and smaller.
Easily. It's all so fragile and can all burst apart.
fall out of love with, and it was rather full of guilt and regret and a failure.
So intense. Panic, desperation.
You're just so empty.
So
Very
any
interesting.
questions?
Yeah. First of all, I love your work, of course, and I like the way that you treat the hard situations. I think it's very symbolic, and I love to know how you did this rain with so many elements.
How I did which bit particularly?
The rain.
The rain, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was working on this film with a friend who I studied with, who's a German animator called Christian Schleifer, who is much more technical than me. I was working on this film over a 6-month period, which began when I was 7 months pregnant and ended when my baby was 3 months old. And I was working from my house. I was working in my attic. And it was pretty crazy, kind of trying to make bits of this film. You know, I could only use single takes for everything because I didn't have time to do multiple takes. I had very few resources. I had a brilliant puppet maker who'd worked on fabrication, but aside from that, it was very, very makeshift. So what I was doing was working with Christian, who was in Germany, to try and sort of polish up this crazy, messy thing that I was making into something that was more palatable. visually. And so what we decided to do for the rain, I initially didn't want to use CG because I thought it might look a bit naff, but he convinced me that it could be done. And what we actually used quite a lot of photogrammy as also for this. So what I did was, once I had my puppets and my sets, I did lots and lots of photographs of the puppets and the sets, and Christian used that to build 3D environments, virtual 3D environments of the puppets and the sets, which he then did some CG animation into, then sending me back those animations to be then transposed back into, or he then composed it then back into the hero shots, which were then composed back into the films. So it was this kind of crazy WeTransfer back and forward, middle of the night thing for the deadline, trying to neither of us had any idea if it would work, what it would look like, or what we were going to get on WeTransfer the next morning, because we didn't really know what the other person was doing. But the rain really worked. So the rain was CG, but the environment was stop motion. So it was composited in, but it was composited into a sort of a virtual 3D space that was the same as the stop motion set, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I think that image, the 3D image and the real image, they get very, very, very close. It's really it seems to be real. It seems to be stop motion. We can feel some trace of the 3D, because I think you use some kind of the contour of the frames are different, no? Yeah,
it was the frame rate. He was very careful to make the frame rate mimic stop motion.
Yeah,
and I think I think that does make a big difference to how it reads.
Yeah, the image was very integrated. It was amazing. Thank you for showing us that. Thank you.
Thank you for watching it. Thank you.
Anybody else? There's a question? Carla? For what? Oh, so the next is Cláudio.
Yeah, the next is mine. Okay, I'll present a film called Metamorphoses, that is a development on the film I made for my master's degree here in Portugal. I studied fine arts and graphic design in Brazil. I'm a graphic designer and worked since then for 20 years in animation, in illustration, and infographics design, for graphics for newspapers mostly, and books, newspaper books, and illustration, and began to make my little animations. Me and Gordeeff started to make our own movies in animation, because I always wanted to working with animation. So when we came here to Portugal, I started this master degree and in animation, and I chose to work in the theme of Metamorphoses. That because it is something I use it many on my movies, and I like this capacity of animation to change forms that no other medium has. Cinema can't do it quite really, changing forms. They use effects and other ways, but it's not a metamorphosis in the sense of the word. So I work mostly in drawing animation. It was all draw in computer. There's I use no paper drawing, and I'll show you how. I hope you like it. So I'll ask you to close the mics. I'll for the movie now.
Okay. Let's come back.
Okay.
there any question? Have someone any question? So, ask the Cláudio.
It's not really a question. It's more observation about your use of sound, which I find very interesting. Is the way you don't use diegetic sound, but that the sound is follows a narrative on its own. So the sound is a different. The sound tells a story, and then you have this multiple layers of visual stories on top of each other. So it's a very poetical form in the sense of communicating. It's so open, so it pretty much depends on the viewer. There's not a clear narrative.
Yeah.
So the meaning is made by the viewer, which I like from my perspective.
Okay.
So
thank you. Yeah, I was trying to work with multiple narratives, the narrative of the images, the narratives of the metamorphoses, and the sound. I decided to use the sound. Not corresponding to the images, but creating another layer of understanding. And the basis I use it for the creation. It was the wish I had to make something about the history of Brazil, the old and actual and nowadays history, and this kind of dystopic events that are occurring not only in Brazil but everywhere nowadays. And for since some years, some 6, 7, 10 years ago. So that was my idea to mix and make some kind of narratives that interfere with each other, and that was it. Okay, any more questions?
No. I was going to say very interesting. Thank you, Cláudio.
Yeah. I will look at you and you are very attentive. I wonder when I answer a question.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I have something to say to Cláudio.
Yeah, Zoey.
I really like the concept of you say like a ripple effect of like layers of imagery. It feel like I like it just kind of because the echoes of the images, and then it have a transition to more. In the beginning, is more like narrative, but later on is more like have or geometries, and then become more like a musical. So it just like I like how it just like transform, and I think it's why you say it's totally. I can feel that, and then it's also like Dick say, it's like kind of open to audience to think about the piece, and sounds definitely give a lot of imagination. Yes, that's it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you liked it.
So now
we can move. Now it's next time.
It's up to you.
Okay. It's quite interesting. My film is almost also about metamorphosis, although in a very different way from Cláudio's. My film, okay, I'll first give you the background. My film was made for a theatre presentation of poetry from Africa, mostly from French-speaking Africa. So my film is in French. Poems that were set to music. So the film was made to be presented with a piece of music live in a theatre production. And so I didn't have any control over the soundtrack, which is quite a difficult thing for an animator. I mean, because sound is part of the way you tell a story. So when I started making that film, because I didn't have control over the sound, and I didn't even have the song that was going to be used, but I had a very strict deadline. So I had to start making a film without a soundtrack, which was music, so I had no idea what the rhythm was going to be. I only had the poem, but I couldn't wait for the song. So I literally I decided to abandon all control over this film. So I literally started with a white piece of paper, a white piece of stretched watercolor paper, and I started painting. So usually animated films you need to plan fairly carefully, or that is the way people usually go about it. I didn't plan at all. I sat down, I set up my camera overhead and my laptop, and I had my paints and my water. So the film is literally an improvisation from the first frame right through to the last. Of course, you can't improvise sort of frame by frame for 2 months on end. So I would get to a certain point and then I decide, okay, I'm going to go there now, and then I would paint in that direction. So the film is fairly static in the sense that you only see one picture, but you see a constant metamorphosis of that one picture. And I worked with gouache paint. I overpainted, and sometimes I used some replacement parts to move across the paper because I was afraid that the paper might get fatigued and start falling apart if I just painted everything. So yes, yeah, my whole film is basically a record of a picture plane transforming. And the poem is by a poet from Mauritania, Ousmane Diagana, and the film is called Mon Pays, My Country. And I think we can play it now.
Then you can, please, then you can write the poem and the author on the YouTube, the chat YouTube. I think it would be nice.
I didn't get that. Are you talking to me?
Yeah, I write to you. I write to you the YouTube address here. You have. Thank you.
Okay, we will show the film, and there is the name of the poet in the presentation I made, so everybody can take note. Okay, I'll show the film now. You can close your mics. Okay.
Thank you.
Beautiful, Dick.
Yes.
I love it.
Thank you. Any questions?
Yes, I have a question. Dick, you said this was a work for a theater.
Mm-hmm.
How it was like a part of a scenography, or how it was? It interacted with some actors. There were no actors.
No, not in the case of this film. So from it was a whole theatre production, hour to an hour and a half, and so I made animation for 8 songs, I think, but this was the only film that I made, which was which you could take away from the theatre show. So okay. They also used this as, so it was not interactive. None of the animation was really interactive, but the others did form a visual backdrop for the music. In the case of this song, when it was performed on stage, there was only the composer at the piano. So so the stage was empty. So the film was actually the focus of the attention for this specific film.
Oh, beautiful! I really love it. Thank you, Dick.
Thank
you. Yes, it was very beautiful.
Any more questions?
Any more questions? The people on the YouTube? Is there any question here? No? No, I think not yet. So
let's go ahead. Now it's Sasha's time. You can present yourself, your movie.
No, my name is actually Alexander. Sasha's nickname in Russian of Alexander. Maybe you know, I don't know. I see I'm like more traditional. I don't have a background in fine arts. No, actually I studied something, drawing. But I always in my life want to do animation, and I worked always in my life in animation, let's say in animation industry, in like various projects. But I always want to make my films, and it was my first film. Actually, I studied architecture, but when I went to the School of Architecture, I went my intention was to have some education, let's say in arts, in something connected in arts, to work in animation, because I was grown up in Soviet Union, and it was funny things that architecture was easiest school that you can enter, because in art school and in School of Animation it was almost impossible. So that it is, and we have the tradition of like Eastern Europe animation, and when I was grown up and when I began to interest in animation, it was very popular, so-called Zagreb School of Animation. And Zagreb is the capital of Croatia. In that time it was a part of Yugoslavia, and they have schools that in the 60s was like revolutionary, let's say, but actually I see it was more famous in the Soviet Union than in other parts, and they have a heritage of Americans to the UPA, but actually it was like a humorous film. It's some humor, but it was look like a parable. So I wanted also to make something like funny parable, but I want to that it was a little bit philosophical, and I tried to say. Yeah, and actually I made this film, and this film was based on my cartoon. I also draw cartoons that called one panel cartoon, not like comic strips, only one drawing. But actually it was like little comic strips in 3 drawing. I draw the men, they thought a lot, and I don't want to spoil, so it was based in my cartoon. But I made it more complicated. And it take a lot of time for me, and it take a lot of energy to make this film. But actually, when you see, I think it's like a little funny film. So I after living in the Soviet Union, I immigrated to Israel, and there I studied in the Academy of Arts, and there was a little unit of animation, and so I began this films there. And after I went to Brazil, and I take all my drawings, and in Brazil I like finished the film. And also one kind of story, I don't have experience in music, and I always thought that I have a very bad ear to music, and I don't know how to make the music and all the sound. And there was one composer that made the music, and I was very nervous with this film, and I not really pay attention to the music. And after I saw the film, I realized that all the sound of the film is not what I want, and I decided to made again. Everybody said not to do this, but I decided, and I made in Brazil another version of the sound, and it was better, but it's also not satisfied. And when I finished the film after 10 years, I decided to make a new sound, and actually it was Nick Phelps that make the sound, and it was really good. And this is the last version of the film. I don't know. It's so let's see. Yeah, and I think it's very different from previous film, because it's more like funny, more like cartoon.
Okay, Sasha, thank you. Let's see the film. I'll ask everybody to close their microphones, and I'll change here to the movie.
Deixa eu bater palma. Sávio também tá batendo.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sasha. You talked that your film is just a comic strip. I don't think so. I think that there is a many very animation with Metamorphoses and other concepts.
No, actually, I wanted to make something philosophical, but a little bit fun,
Yeah, even the narrative, the logic, it's a logic that exists only in the real world.
Yes.
Okay.
It is, but but what I want to say, because I want really from the tradition of animation, not from the fine arts. No, it was connected. There was citation. You can see quotes from Kandinsky. I don't remember Malevich, but actually it was based on tradition of real animation.
Yeah, and I think
on the language of animation.
Yeah, and I think it's good, this kind of moment that you can mix all the kinds of animations and origins and themes and aesthetics. I think it's very interesting, very good, very nice to us, nice to the world, nice to the day, nice to everybody. Okay, thank you. Is there any questions?
Yeah. Do you have some questions?
Yeah.
No.
Tania, Zoey, Sávio, Carla, someone that has any question to do to Sasha?
No, I just want to congratulate, because I really admire this type of animation.
Thank you.
Yeah. I really like the School of Zagreb. Yeah. And I think the work you presented is, as you said, with a certain influence. And I found it wonderful. Thank you, Sasha.
Thank you.
So, if there's no questions now, Sávio, it's your turn. Com você agora, Sávio.
So, I would like to thank Cláudio and Gordeeff for invited me to celebrate the International Day of Animation. I am Brazilian. I am a student visual artist. I founded a festival here in Belo Horizonte, the city he lives, called Múmia International Animation Underground Festival for 8 years ago. Yeah, have 14 animated films. Cláudio asked me to choose an animation of mine, and I choose the short land of 2008. Code name is Terra, Earth. A short film that participated in several festivals in Brazil, including winning some awards in important international festivals such as Clermont-Ferrand, Annecy, and Tampere. The text is by a writer from Belo Horizonte, the city where I was born and I live. Yeah, it's narrated by the actor Paulo César Pereio, that a famous actor from Brazilia's cinematographic movement called marginal cinema. The film is part of series about mythologies, but the people confuse them with the names of the planets. I'm not bored because most of my short films is more experimental. I received money from Brazilian government to do it. Because impossible thing with the government that we have today. I hope you like it. Yes.
Okay, thank you, Sávio. Thank you. I'll show the film now. Close your mics, please. I'll begin the transmission.
Sempre foram bons em matemática, física, química, biologia e português. Preocupam-se em fazer a barba e manter o corte de cabelo. Conseguem falar em público sem titubear. Permanecem no mesmo emprego por mais de 3 anos. Têm amantes sem que ninguém perceba. São bons de garfo, são bons de cama. São bons companheiros, filhos, maridos e pais. Não foram enganados no troca-troca. Nem conheceram quem tivesse levado porrada. Os que pagam aluguel, mas se sentem proprietários. Completam bodas de qualquer coisa. Terminam uma pelada sem brigar com o goleiro. Fazem palavras cruzadas e indiretas. Serviram no exército e contam casos de caserna. Passaram por um namoro longo sem aborto. Passaram sem recuperação. Fumam maconha com suas esposas. Tem amigos na vizinhança, no trabalho, na escola e de infância. Não precisam de amigos. Fizeram festa de formatura. Escrevem cartas em papel de carta. Não dependem da família. Não pertencem a ninguém. São arrimo de família. Os que se preocupam em combinar a cor das roupas. Ouvem rock na juventude, jazz na maturidade e clássico na velhice. Conseguem ser pais e avós. Ouvem clássico e jazz antes dos 40 e rock depois. Sabem andar de motocicleta. Sabem dirigir automóveis. Nunca se machucaram seriamente. Não fumam muito. fazem rir com piadas. Não telefonam para ex-mulheres quando estão solitários. Nunca estão totalmente solitários. Guardam lembranças. Os que não usam perfume sobrevivem com pouco dinheiro. Foram notícia aos 14 anos. São notícias sem qualquer motivo especial. Não se envaidecem quando têm sua foto publicada. Dormem sem precisar ler. Falam e fumam muito e não se culpam por isso. Trabalham de ressaca. Lavam e passam suas roupas. Sempre usaram fio dental. Tem um bar na esquina e conta na padaria. São atendidos pelo garçom sorridente quando fazem psiu. Controlam a ejaculação. Sentem-se à vontade ao dizer que nunca leram um livro. Não viram um filme de arte. Nem sabem a diferença entre cubismo e impressionismo. Fazem prestações quando estão de aviso prévio. Os que dispensam trocadilhos, desprezam namoradas, dispensam o baseado sem que o policial perceba, prescindem de companhia, conseguem se matar, conseguem ser espetacularmente assassinados, vivem longe de tragédias, não fizeram escândalo quando alguém querido morreu, não fazem pose e mesmo assim têm classe, dispensam comentários, desfilam seus corpos esbeltos pelas areias das praias, ganham dinheiro com criatividade, sabem tocar um instrumento musical, conseguem terminar um poema sequer iniciado.
Tem que abrir o som do Sávio. Tem que abrir o som do Sávio. Hi, Sávio. I think your film is very strong. So, I will ask you for the public, to the audience, to ask you something about your film, about your idea, and so because I know yourself, I know you, so I think the others maybe has more questions than me. Sávio?
I listen the sound in YouTube. I'm confused here. I know early your question.
Okay. Now we have another companion of us from Brazil, is Marcelo, and he didn't had sure if he couldn't be here. But it's here. It's good. And now, for finish the Cláudio's presentation, is there any question to Sávio, please? No questions?
No questions. Okay.
Why? How to say that?
Yeah.
Why do you decide this poem? Why do you decide to to do the story based on this poem?
Por que você decidiu fazer a animação em cima desse poema?
Yeah, because I like very much the writer, very much, and the text is how the God speak words from the people, the humans, and you listen sometimes. Your concorda is not concorda. Como é concorda? Is not
Agree.
Not, you agree. Some words do not agree. Some words is very nice. It's como how the God above and the people.
Yeah. And how did you find this actor?
This is Paulo César Pereio. Paulo César Pereio.
Yeah, but how do you, how to say, find the way to call him in your film?
Você decidiu, como é que você encontrou ele? Pela voz dele?
I'm a very fan of your work, but the Paulo César Pereira is very difficult person. Very difficult. He's a very crazy man, but he likes the text. He likes the text is harmony, the work harmony all the time. It's no very problem with Paulo César Pereira, but I made another film by Paulo César Pereira. Is very difficult to gravar the sound.
To register, to
record, yes.
Oh. Because he was very nice voice. He was not animator, by Alan Sieber. I never seen this actually in the movies, but in the animation films of Alan, I saw a lot, and he drew him, and he was funny very much.
Thank you.
Sávio, I know that you have produced many short animated films, and most of them are very different, very original, very strong, not for kids. And I have seen that this one was funded. It had some sponsorship. How many films, how many animated short films have you done? And was it difficult to find funding for it, for them, for those? How many of them have
14 shots. And now they made a larger, the feature film.
But you have any money to put this?
They call name the son of the bitch.
Sorry.
I think that exhibit that Venus, the lesbian fairy tale is my
more awarded film.
Yeah.
Awarded film. Yeah.
But it's very strong, né? To
all
audience.
I agree with you.
Vou te pedir para dizer se você conseguiu dinheiro para todos. Eles te deram dinheiro para fazer
No. It's very beautiful. No.
Yeah. They're saying had not many money to make.
No budget.
No funding. O da fadinha tá na internet, sabe?
No. The awarded Sávio's film It's not on internet. Because it's for a big person. It's not for a young person, little person. More questions? If not, I pass the word to Marcelo to talk about a little himself and the animation of him that we will show here today. Before the mine, then I will be the last one.
That's me? No. I am so sorry for being late. I'm very sorry for being late. Today is the International Animation Day, and I am one of the coordinators of the celebration in Brazil. Last year, we were able to make in 200 different cities the same screenings on 200 different cities to celebrate International Animation Day with Brazilian films, with foreign films, and we are going under a terrible government. We are under a government in Brazil that does not support culture, does not support films, audiovisual. We have a military government that does not believe in science. So it is very important now to, even without any kind of budget or money, to keep on making these events, these scenes. And I was at a roundtable that was talking about the history of memory of Brazilian animation, which is being also destroyed. The Cinemateca, how do I say Cinemateca in English? Cinemateca. The place to keep all the prints.
Cinemateca?
Cinemateca.
Cinemateca. Without
the place where we keep all the memory prints, the originals of films, of Brazilian films, for the last 100 years, was abandoned by the government. There is no lights on. Everything is being destroyed. The Brazilian movie memory is being destroyed. So we are trying to do something to avoid that. But Eliane, I was supposed to talk about my film, not about that. Cláudio?
Yeah. Oh yeah, no. Let's talk about good things, not the bad things. Good to talk, but let's present.
Yeah, today it's a celebration day. Today is a celebration day. Okay, I think it's to make people glad and happy. At least this moment. Okay. After it's after. Now it's now. Now or never. It's now or never. It's our fight. Our fight is this.
Cláudio, chifre de camaleão, camaleão horn. You are going to show.
Yeah. Talk a little about this film and.
After graduation, 20 years ago, after I graduated from the School of Fine Arts, I was looking for jobs, for works in animation. And during the 2 first years, where I was unemployed, I started doing these animated shorts also without any money. And it is a very traditional way of animating. I was drawing with a pencil on paper. It's a very simple film with real and naturalistic aspects of the life of a chameleon. Every information we have in the film is true. Chameleons do have horns, and when a male chameleon finds a female, he shows his horns. If there's another chameleon with a bigger horn, they have to fight. But the fight is a chromatic fight. It's not a battle with violence. And so I will ask Cláudio to show it. Please. Thank you. Thank you.
So, okay, thank you, Marão. I'll show the film. I ask everybody to close the mics, and I'll change it here.
Voltou? Thank you, Madam. Hello, everybody. Thank you. And I let to everybody if is there any questions to Maron, because I know Maron a long time, so I think it's good a different person question to him. Hi. No.
It's a very simple film. It was actually the first short I did after graduation, and I was doing as I was starting to work. So it was of my very early works, and everything is real. The chameleon fight. In a chameleon fight, they inflate, they roll over, and they start to change colors. So one of them is morally beaten by the other, which goes away, and there is no physical interaction, no physical violence between them. It's true.
And so I have a question for you. Is how is to see your first animation now?
When some people usually are ashamed of showing something that's very old, but each work that you do, it's a part of this way. In each work that you are part of, either a personal one or a work that is for other clients. Everything is a part of your story, of your of who you are, how do you get there. So I obviously very ashamed of many problems in the animation, But I remember most of all, I remember the people that I knew when I was doing it, where I was living. I did not have a job. I was at a room, a rented room, which had a collective bathroom. I did not have a bathroom. I had to go out to use the same bathroom. And I remember many people who were beginning to work with animation, who are professionals today. So most of all, I remember the people I knew.
Okay, thank you. Well, in the final, we can change our impressions and other about the work of each other. So we have a little talk in the final. I think it would be good. So the last, it's me. So it's my turn now. Well, let's go. Let's go ahead. I am Gordeeff, but as animator, I assign just Gordeeff, and I'm not just animator, but like Cláudio, I am graduated in graphic design. I complete my master in Brazil in visual arts, and here in Portugal, I finished my PhD in multimedia. And I work as a professor, as an animator, and a research of animation. I wrote a book about my master, and this film that we can watch after is the name is Mother, and Mother is a result of a great will, a hard desire to do animation in the middle of my PhD research. So this animation is mixed a little my impressions and my thoughts about animation and live action, and I work with that. And the theme, to me, it's very, very, very sensible. Move me, important thing in work in our lives, and because of that, we can live. Everyone, every animal, everything we can live because of water. So let's watch Mother, and then I can talk a little more about it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Liliane. Gordeeff. We're going to see the movie. Please close your mics. I'm going to play it.
Come back. Todo mundo com o microfone desligado?
Legal, muito bom.
I would like to highlight some details about the production. Is that, as you see it, saw the image, there is many sequences from live action. Some of them I did the record, the registers. Some of them I pick up from the internet. But these images are used not as they are, but I pick up some frame of the sequence and apply the filters on the program, but not just one common use and apply some value of the filter in the beginning, and then the final of the sequence apply the other value, and there is a render and you see the result of the image. No, I use what I call the manual random time lapse, because I choose some frames from a particular sequence and apply the filter frame by frame, one by one, and I change the values of the filter for each frame. And after that, I put them, I rename of them to do the sequence complete without any gap. And then I did the render. So there is a little difference in the image doing that, and not applying the feature, but to me it's important. And you can see that well in small screen, but in a big screen you can see better. So, and why I did that? Because I questioned that time, the time of my research, the difference between live action and animated, the image, the results, the final result of this different canon meanings of the image. So to me, it was an exercise, intellectual exercise. At the same time, it was an artistical exercise. And I don't know, I think I need questions to complete my speech.
I thought it was a really beautiful film. Thank you very much for showing it. It was really unusual visually, and I found myself all the way through thinking, how did she do that? which is usually a good sign.
Which part?
I think it was the convergence of the live action and the animation. I was trying to figure it out, but it was wonderful and really fluid and dynamic.
Thank you.
I was wondering about the how you work with music.
I wanted to ask about that as well.
Yeah. It was to me. I think it was a gift. Make a very lucky to find the perfect music to my idea, because at first I just had a wish to talk about water, but I didn't know how I would do that. I didn't have any idea, but I already had some image, some pictures, some live action sequence, some registers of the river, the Sena River from Paris. I did. So I had idea to do, but I didn't know how. So to me, the sound is very important. If you can see older animations of mine, you can see that the sound, the music, it's the spirit of my animations. So I opened in the internet many, and heard many musics. Okay, and one night, to be more exact, one night I found this music. Wow, that, because when I listened, I couldn't imagine how I would use the image that I had. So the construction to me it's not for this animation in particular. It was not a logical construction, but emotional construction. So the music gave me this land to walk on that, and then the animation appeared. Okay, and of course, together with my questions, my desires to understand better the image, live action, and animation, together with this creation moment, artistic creation moment, I think. So it's a mess. It's a little complex, because there is my rational side, my intellectual side, together with my emotional side in this animation. So, and this, as Carla said, the change, the live action to animation, and in the opposite, was made frame by frame. The mixing them and apply the filters, and mixing sometimes design, the drawing, with the live action at the same time, the real image at the same time, frame by frame, and sometimes there is a filter, as I said, I use. So, and to me, one thing it was very, very complex is because I'm in the middle of the research, the animation research, and I have to deliver my final text at February, April, March. I don't remember exactly the date, the schedule now, but I stopped between January and February 2018 to do that. I really needed to create something in animation to continue to do my thesis. To me, is not understandable, but it was happening to me. So, any questions?
It's still on the music. So did you pace your animation to the music? Because the animation is very much in rhythm with the music.
Yes.
I find that I often work also frame by frame with different images, and very often that kind of pacing of this music is sort of, for me, almost a natural pacing for animation, in a sense, if you're not doing a narrative but just putting frames on frames. That is the kind of rhythm you come out with. So I don't know if I'm making myself clear, but what I want to ask you is, how did you pace your film? Did you listen to the music first, or did the music just fit with the pacing of your animation?
As I had said, I already had some pieces of image.
So sorry.
I wanted to use them.
But they were already edited.
Yeah.
So they're already at a pace.
Yes.
Okay, so that's what I'm interested in. So they fit to the music.
Yeah, and another hand, I didn't know how would be the order, and how I could done the transition, the one to another. Okay, there is no idea about that, but the music give me a rhythm. Okay, so the music helped me to find a way to find a narrative on my head. Okay, so because we began, but I noted that just after I finished the film, not during the production. Okay, after that, there is a narrative here. I didn't see it during the process. So I began in the sky, on the clouds. Okay, so this is a kind of water too. And then I finish on the pregnant woman, in the body of the pregnant woman. So there is a connection here. And between these 2 points, we pass to the snow, we pass to the river, we pass to the abyssal, we pass to our home water, between the sink. Okay, we pass to the sadness with the tears. We pass for the river of the earth, because in the final, the veins that get closer and transform to the veins of the body are rivers. The design, the lines are the rivers. The Amazon River, Mississippi River, Nile River,
Ganges.
No, Ganges, no. There is river from Russia, Egypt, Brazil, of course, USA. And but we can see that. You can see the design, all design is a river. But I know the intention was to show that the rivers of the earth are our rivers in our body. Okay, so the music, the rhythm, how the velocity give me the idea, because I heard the music and then I imagine, oh, here I can put that photo, oh, here I can put that design, the drawing that I had made. And this way I could construct all the image, the beginning at the final. But the name mother, mãe in Portuguese, or madre in Espanol, I didn't know the name. The name came after the finish of the film. Okay, because I didn't want to talk about water and mixing animated and real image too. So I don't know if I could answer you totally, Dick. I hope
One
so.
can never answer a question totally, I think.
Yeah. It's
it
good.
was good enough, thank you.
There is any questions, Asha, Sávio?
Eliane, I believe I have seen most of her animated films. Eu não conhecia esse, I did not know this one, I have not seen.
Yeah, it's the last.
How it works on the big screen and on the small screen. And esse filme é do ano passado, então não, é de 2 anos atrás. It's from
2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago.
Did you have the opportunity to see it on the big?
Yeah. I saw here in Portugal, Cine Eco. It's a festival that the point is to show ecological films with ecological theme. And
it's a bit in Mumia too.
Mumia. Yeah. But I didn't saw it in Mumia, unfortunately. I had the opportunity to see
That's just because it's about among people who have just finished their films this year, from the beginning, or from March of this year, and some of them are entering their films submitted to festivals, and some of them are keeping the film until things change 5 years from now.
Yeah, and I achieved some visual effects with some parts of the film that you can see very well in the big screen. In short, it's not the same. But I hope you enjoy it. And there is a question. If not, we can finish it to talk a little.
Is there any question? You want to talk about your project now? What you are doing? What you did during the quarantines? What if you plan something?
Finish? Yeah, because we complete 2 hours and a half of transmission. It's good to finish also.
So if anybody has nothing to declare now, I want to thank you everybody for joining this adventure, this first AnimALIVE. This idea we had 1 week ago.
Thank you very much, Cláudio and León. Obrigado.
Yes, thank you very much for inviting
Thank you
us.
so much.
Thank you. It was wonderful. Thank you.
I thank you everybody to be here. And our audience too.
And I hope we can do other times and meet you again very soon. Okay. Thank you everybody.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Tchau, agora é só tchau. Brasileiro. Desculpa, eu cheguei atrasado, eu vou entrar na outra que eu tô atrasado também.
Obrigado mesmo, sim, foi muito legal.
Feliz dia da animação, Sasha. Feliz dia da animação.
Também,
Sávio.
Você também.
Adorei poder ver.
Beijo.
Beijo.
Tchau.
Adorei